The long road winds through North Carolina as Edmonton's 7-game trip continues. We get you set for the Oilers and the Hurricanes on the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the pregame show on Edmonton Sports Talk. Tom Gazzola, Joaquin Gage with you live on location. Boston Pizza, 170th and 90th Avenue, a.k.a. Westgate. We're going to have a lot of fun here tonight. A couple of the nasties already here. Shout out to VR Montenegro. Shout out to Cal and Sarah. And then I feel like there's going to be a lot more on their way shortly, Joaquin.
Oh, really, Tom?
I just call it a hunch. Let's call it a hunch. It's going to be a fun Saturday here at BP Westgate. Tony's ready to rock.
Yeah.
We were here for Curtis's birthday a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It was,
got a little messy?
It was fun.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I kept myself in check. Others, not so much.
Oh, good. Good for you, Tom.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well, like a 40-year-old man now.
Yeah, something like that.
Rarely do you go from 26 to 40.
It's weird, right? It's weird. Yeah. Make your jokes. Chastise me. Benny Thomson back at EST HQ on the city's west end. He will hopefully be coming down to hang out as well. Of course, GCL Diesel, providers of the best diesel engine components around, from turbochargers to injectors, fuel pumps to sensors. They are the critical engine component experts, proud to serve Edmonton and Northern Alberta for over 50 years. You can text us 780-218-9999. Jump into the nasty chat. If you're watching on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. We appreciate it very, very much. The Oilers 8-7-4. Carolina 12-5. Gager, we're going to do Gage changers today.
Yes,
I love
we
that.
are.
And then we're also going to hear from Hannah Yates, who's going to stop by and give us the scoop on those Hurricanes. She is the ringside reporter on FanDuel Sports Network. A lot of them were like Script Sports before Fox. Remember when it was like Fox Regional for a long time? And then I think AT&T Sportsnet stepped in. And then they went Bally's. They were Bally's too, and it went under.
That was 2 years ago?
Yeah, and FanDuel came in.
Yeah.
And just like bought these networks.
Mm-hmm.
So I remember the day they switched over to FanDuel. It was here in Edmonton, and we had Hannah on. And
Oh, really?
I was like, FanDuel Sports Network? That sounds weird. So that was about a year ago.
That's right.
She's excellent, so we're going to hear from her in a bit. You've got your winning leather on.
Well, they need all the help they can get, Tommy. So I'm
sad but true.
Might as well don the leather. People give me crap if I'm out and I'm not wearing it during game day, so I might as well. I'm covering a bunch of bases here.
You look good.
Thank you.
You look
too.
good. Thank you. I'm going for like the urban lumberjack here.
Yeah.
That's what we're going for. Benny Thomson, check in. What's going on, pal? You doing all right? You didn't stay in studio all day, did you? Please tell me you went home for a bit.
No, I went home, had something to eat. Chilled out for a little bit. My mom's not home this weekend, so I was making sure the dogs are fed and everything. So, but yeah, that was I got like a nice hour at home and headed back here to prepare for the show today, and hopefully preparing for a good post-game show, because there's going to be a good crew of BPs and hopefully a good game tonight between the Oilers and Hurricanes. We'll see how it happens.
Okay, I want input from our audience, but I need to ask you guys this. And I talked about it with the Oil Stream in the afternoon edition with Reed yesterday. And Gager and Benny, I was wondering to myself, I'm like, what's up with the dissatisfaction from Oilers fans? Because if you look, this is big picture. If you look at it, they're 8-7-4 this season. They're right in the mix. No, they're not at the top of the Pacific Division standings. No, they're not really beating teams convincingly or anything like that. And I feel like that's part of what has drawn the ire of oil country. But I thought to myself, well, look at these wins. How many of them were satisfying? How many of these nights where the Oilers have played have you gone, you know what? They played pretty good tonight. And I concluded two.
Satisfying ones?
2 out of 19 where you could say,
okay,
yeah, that was
I just want to see which one. I know which one of them will be, but what's your second one? I'm assuming the first one was the dominant performance against the Canucks.
Correct.
And your second one is, because I got my opinion.
They played 2 out of 3 periods well that night.
Oh, against the Mammoth.
That's right.
Okay, I would say maybe because I was in the building and it was a little bit more exciting, but that Montreal game.
That was fun.
It was a lot of fun. Like the crowd, I didn't know there was that many Habs fans in Edmonton, because I would say that there were more Habs fans in there, it was louder when the Habs scored than when the Oilers scored.
Yes.
And I think as to is there fan exhaustion, Tommy, a little bit? Like these have been a lot of hockey over 2 years for the team and their fans and their livers, quite honest, right? So
I like how you got that in.
And it the hockey that people in Edmonton are used to and watching, that heart pumping, every face-off matters, every shot matters, and then you get into the regular season and you look at the long road ahead. There could be a little bit of burnout. I think. I know that.
I have nothing against that.
Though. No, that's fine. It's funny because I felt last year at the beginning of the season, I felt a little burnout where I was thinking, God, we got to go through this whole thing again and try to get back to, I wanted them to get back to where they were before because it was fun to cover. And this year was a completely different way I looked at it, just because of the change in the personnel, what that's going to look like. Obviously, there was the Connor McDavid signing. So there was a lot of things that piqued my interest to start the season. And I'm kind of looking at this season game by game as it goes. And like you said, there's not that many games where I can look back and go, wow, that was a really good performance by the team.
Right.
It's again, they seem to just wade their way into games, and what are we going to have to do to be successful? Do we have to go 100%? Can we throw an 80% out and then it'll still work? And everyone's been saying on our channel, every single show, the one of the common denominators of this early on in the season is they're getting every team's best too,
which shouldn't surprise them at this point in the life cycle.
I don't think so, man. So it's tough. I get it.
Yeah.
But I think what we're seeing is a bunch of people around the city and who are Oilers fans all over the place. They're waiting for the switch to be flipped, the lights to come back on, cockroach play to scatter, and for the Edmonton Oilers to get at her.
Well done. Look at you spitting rhymes. Oh, gosh. Well played. Benny, a lot of nights we're sitting there and kind of backing up what Joaquin is saying is we go, boy, they got lucky to win that one, or boy, they got lucky to walk out of that game with a point. And we couldn't just be like, yeah, they played good tonight. We didn't see a lot of 80% effort.
Yeah.
Hitting that threshold. Draisaitl said it last week. He's like, really, we just need a B+ game and we should be okay most nights. We're getting like C- or C+. Lucky.
Well,
night.
and plus the top guys are like, I mean, just looking at last game, there were mistakes made by 97 and 29 that directly led to goals against. And yes, they fought, they got their way back into that game, but it's kind of a zero sum if you're not going to play hard on the defensive side. Like, really, when you look at the plays that they could have done to mitigate those good scoring chances, Oilers win that game walking away.
Yeah.
If they have that type of performance, but
there's no mitigation.
No, not at all.
Ben Thomson, am I crazy for thinking there's only been 2 satisfactory nights if you're an Oiler fan?
No, I'm with you. You're often left feeling like you could have. The Oilers had more, right? The text that stuck with me when I was on the hangout yesterday, I think it was by Big Dave, if I'm not mistaken. I'm stealing this. The Oilers are expecting to win. They don't want to win. There's the difference, right? I think I
know what Big Dave means.
Like, they're walking in the buildings going, okay, we're the big bad Oilers. We've won 2 Western Conference Finals in back-to-back years. We have McDavid and Draisaitl. If we play our game, we should win this game, no problem. Problem is they're not playing their game enough, and I think that mindset is leading to lazy habits that have been either been created or have been brought back from past years. Guys just seem like they're, I don't know if disinterested is the proper word, like we were talking about yesterday, but they are. It just seems like they're lazy. They just don't have that same fire and desire to go grab a win from a team, right? Like it's 2 teams out there, and it seems like majority of nights the Oilers' opponents want to win more. And so I think it's got to come from the top guys showing up to play and bringing everyone else into that same mindset of let's take this win away from the other team and not have the other team try to take control of the game before we can, right? So yeah, it's the Oilers are leaving a lot on the table. It feels like pretty much every game, and we'll see if that changes here. You got Hyman back, who I've talked about I feel like embodies a lot of what a good hockey mindset and hockey player should be. So we'll see if that affects anything tonight.
All right, let's dip it to the inbox, 780-218-9999. Get into the nasty chat as well. Just some thoughts heading into this game against the Carolina Hurricanes. This one out of Calgary says, I think it's the Wolf. Yeah. Oh, the Wolf says, if the Oilers suck, at least it's steak night at camp tonight. Got to think of the positives, boys. The other night when Savoy scored, there was zero emotion. That's what's bringing down the fans. Zero emotion. It seems like the guys are so disinterested that I don't even want to use them in NHL 26. That one from the Wolf. well done, the Wolf. Hopefully the steak is good. Go ahead, Gage. What do you want to say?
I don't know. Did you happen to catch any of the game last night between the Canucks and the Hurricanes at all?
4-3 overtime victory for the Canes.
Yeah, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I did have it on. It was a good game. Like the Canucks played well. The speed of the Carolina Hurricanes was the first thing that caught my eye. This is a game where if the Oilers do wade into it, like I said, this could be going into the first period down by a couple goals. And the Carolina Hurricanes are a much better defensively structured team. And, you know, the one thing about them is they're strong down the middle. They've got some good young players. They're not the biggest team, right? So, but they are quick. And I think that's somewhere where maybe the Oilers can take advantage of. But again, with good teams, what you see, and we saw that with Colorado a few weeks ago, obviously when McKinnon's out there, it's a little bit different animal, but it's very hard to distinguish between lines 2 and 4, right? Because they all play the same way. And that's what I saw last night. Like I couldn't tell. The Aho line is pretty dynamic, but the rest of the Hurricanes, they all play the exact same way. And it's a hard forecheck. Everything's done with speed. If there are turnovers, it's quick ups and back in the play. D-men are jumping. So, again, one of the things that have been hampering the Oilers in wins here is recognition of where the danger's coming from. Not to get all those, like, 5 guys on the ice puck watching and not to shoulder checking to see where that extra guy is, right? So full awareness tonight, and hopefully you can maybe get a little bit of fatigue on the Hurricanes side tonight and get this into the deep waters of the third period where maybe a little bit fresher legs can help out.
I hope so, for the sake of oil country. I have my doubts, and I look back to the last game where it was Columbus coming back from a 5-game road trip. The 4 out of the 5 games in the Western Conference, they came back from the West Coast to Alberta, then back to Seattle to wrap it up on back-to-back nights, and then they flew all the way back to Columbus. Get in late. They took the day off, I think, on Wednesday, and then they regroup and play against the Oilers on Thursday, and they looked fine. Edmonton did not take advantage.
I know.
And Columbus had that illness on Monday.
Yeah, that's another thing. I was going, who was sick? Like, what happened here? That's the best flu ever. They did not look tired at all.
And they didn't have Boone Jenner, too. He got hurt in Seattle. Like, so many things stacked up in favor of Edmonton that game. Guys, and
I almost went out and bought an Olivier jersey. Like that guy, what a unicorn that guy is.
3-point night.
And the thing is, with a guy like that who is scary tough, you saw when he's in front of the net, he creates a little bit more space for himself, right? Just because, I don't really want to check him too hard. There could be repercussions, right? But you have to, because this guy can put the puck in the net too.
He did that.
I was shocked. 3-point night. I mean, I think you guys said it on Hello Augie. 18 goals last year, I think it was.
18 goals last year, yep.
Yeah, this is that's
That's a
You
new
don't
age
see-
heavyweight, basically.
I know. I got to change my archaic ways and thinking now that tough guys actually play now. But you know what? You had Brant Myers on, and you see Brant out there. Like there's some hands. You can see that.
Oh, yeah.
There's a reason why he played in the NHL. Like
Yes.
he was a pretty good hockey player. He just he had that lawnmower left hand that broke a few noses back in the
He's
day.
a big dude, man. Now he's full of love, though.
Oh yeah.
And he has a non-alcoholic beer. Check it out. It's with our partners, Alley Cat. It's called Unhammered. It's available, he said, in 60 locations now.
Well, I'm glad it's going to be closer to me because it'll be in Friesen Brothers soon, right?
That's right,
So,
yeah.
So I'll Brant, I'll go get a sixer. Okay.
It is really good. He brought some to Alumni Skate. It was vitamin D infused.
I know
You can appreciate. You like the subtle little things.
I do,
ingredients.
Tommy.
Yeah. He's a details guy, Joaquin Gage. All right, keep those texts coming in, 780-218-9999. Get to the nasty chat, and then we're going to get to Ben's question of the night before we do lineups. I want to read this one. It came in from Jocelyn, notable Canes fan, who says, Tommy, you're wearing Canes colors. Looks good on you. Let's go, Canes. I didn't mean to. I'm sorry. Jocelyn, yes, I guess I am. To Oilers fans, I apologize. Maybe it's like the counter bet when you bet against them.
Right.
Where you want them to win. Spite bet, yeah. So
I like Urban Lumberjack Tommy, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that as well. All right,
Home
Benny.
Depot, let's go get you an axe.
I can wield one.
Oh, yeah?
I had to learn the outdoors as a child.
Well, I'll carry the water then.
Okay. I'll chop wood. You carry the water. Classic. Benny, what is the question of the night? Joaquin and I will hammer it, and then we'll put it out to the audience as well.
This is, I believe, a question that was talked about when I was filling in for the Coob on EST Afternoons. Will Zach Hyman hit the 20-goal mark this year? Obviously, return tonight. I want to hear the responses from the nasty chat and from you guys. Zach Hyman.
I'm old. What did I say, Benny? I think I said no. I think I said no. Look, my reasoning behind him not. He might get close, but I just don't think he'll hit the 20 is he went through the better part of the summer not being able to shoot the puck, right?
Good point.
So he's only over the last, month, maybe month and a half, really being able to test that thing out and use his hands and stuff. He's been able to skate, which is great. So I think for him to be effective or make an impact in the game will be a lot easier because of the way Zach Hyman plays. Mm-hmm. But as for those nice little, you see Hyman around that 6 feet in the crease where he goes around the goalie, tucks it in, and has some nice silky mitts at times. I just feel that part of his game is going to take him a long time. And I'm thinking maybe 15, 20 games until he kind of feels like, I'm back.
Right.
And if you look at the schedule at that time, everything starts to tighten up. It becomes harder to score. All the systems are in place. Everyone's playing at a very high level. So, yeah, I mean, if he gets close to 20, great, right? But I think it lands somewhere between that 20 to 15 goal mark.
63 games. If you were to get to 20, like Gager, if I'm going to say yes, which I agree with you, I don't think he will, but I'll counter that with if he were to get to 20, that 20 goal plateau this season in a shortened year for him due to the injury, I think he'd have to muck a lot of them, like really ugly ones, and he'd have to get on a good streak. You're right. That touch around the net, I would be super concerned about.
Yeah, it'll take some time. And he's not once in a while he does surprise you though, right? He does surprise you with the way when Zach Hyman shoots the puck, it's, what is intentionality? Is that what Cat says?
Intentionality,
like,
yeah.
He really places it in an area where the goalie has to make the save, right? So, but that's going to have to come from more touches, more game time, things like that. He doesn't beat a ton of goalies from distance, but it's there sometimes. We all know where his bread and butter is made, and that's 6 feet out from the crease, being that backboard on that far post for maybe Connor will start shooting more because Zach Hyman will be beside the net. Maybe
shoot it off of him.
Yeah. So, I mean, maybe that helps a little bit. But again, we've all said it on all our shows. For people to see the way that Zach Hyman operates throughout the game, it's a hard-nosed, honest effort. There's no shortcuts on both sides of the puck, and I really think that's needed by this team to see how hard he works. And I said this on EST a while ago, Tommy. I think, like, everyone says, oh, who do you look up to as your leaders? Who are your leaders on the ice? Connor and Leon, no one can play like that, right? They're unicorns. I think the more attainable way to play is Zach Hyman style. Everyone can give that much effort and care that much out there and give that, play a little bit more physical. So I think just having him and people watching him from the bench is actually going to make this team maybe I don't know if they go to number 2 sandpaper, but maybe in the high numbers.
All right, let's get to some responses. This one from Ice says 20 is easy. I'm looking at the nasty chat here. Penner's Pancake says 100% he still gets to 20. Chris says Hyman will get 22. Someone a little bit more pessimistic says, oh yeah, our season savior is back. Hyman, LOL. And then there's been a lot of people been just ripping on Stan Bowman the last few days.
Oh,
it comes with the
understandable.
Yeah.
I mean, the moves that he's made, very optimistic in the summer. I mean, I was excited to see some of these young guys. I know Tony here was all jacked up about someone on the team there, but that didn't seem to worry out.
Bets.
And but I was curious, but they haven't panned out, Tommy.
No.
And part of it is the play of, like, we did look at this D-core, and when you look at it on paper, it is quite good, and they're not playing up to their standards,
right,
or where they should be. So I'd say you put a lot on Stan Bowman. There's still a lot of work to do, because you did get one of the best players in the game making a huge sacrifice here and giving you the ability to create. Mm-hmm. This lands on JJ and Stan Bowman now to start improving this team, because they are not close to where they want to be.
That's a good point. All right, let us know your thoughts. The question of the night: will Zach Hyman get to 20 goals as he makes his return? He'll have 63 games if he stays healthy, knock on wood, to get to that 20-goal threshold. Pretty tough, like Gage said. It was like a complicated dislocation of the wrist.
I don't
Not a break, but a dislocation.
I think that would be worse.
Yeah. All right, well, we'll see what he can do. He's a dog on a bone, and he plays the right way with a lot of passion, and the Oilers get him back tonight. Okay, let's get into your starting lineups as the Oilers take on the Hurricanes. They meet again in March in Edmonton. For tonight, McDavid with Savoy and Hyman. What do you make of that line?
Well, baptism by fire for Hyman. Like, there's no... You know what? I almost thought that they might just go 11-7.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I don't know. I thought, or maybe even put him in the bottom 6 to just get him acclimated, because not playing that long, and he has been skating, but playing in a game is so much different, right?
He's going to be skating a lot.
Yeah. And so we'll see. I mean, when has Nobby kept the same lines from the start of the game to the end?
Very rarely.
Yeah,
Good point.
We'll see.
All right, the line that makes sense to keep together in this scenario: Draisaitl between Podkolzin and Roslovic. We'll see if Roslovic continues the hot hand. Podkolzin scored a goal the other night. Draisaitl had a good game. Henrique between Mangiapane and Frederick. Philp with Janmark and Lazar. Andrew Mangiapane, -4 the other night. Just 6-7 points, and not looking so great right now. Very streaky this year. He'll get like a 3-game point streak, then go 4 games without one, couple games with a point, then 5 games without one, couple games with a point, then throw up a -4 and a couple of pizzas. Good at telling.
I mean, he was on the 3rd, 4th line all last year, right? And had a good season with the Washington Capitals. I think at this point, Mangiapane is in that 9, the bottom 9, wherever that leads, more likely bottom 6. He's just, he can fill in for a period of time, right? In a role where he's counted on to produce offensively, maybe a little bit more, but I just think it's. I haven't seen what I was thinking he might. From what I remember in Calgary, like he was always kind of a threat. Maybe having Hyman in there.
I thought he was a burner too, but he hasn't really been that.
It doesn't look the same for some reason. It just doesn't look the same from what I recollect watching him from on his previous team. Mm-hmm. So it needs more, but you could say that about a lot of guys.
That's a good point. That's very true. All right, on defense for the Oilers tonight, Ekholm with Bouchard, Nurse with Wallman, Kulak with Regula, out for the Oil, Ty Emberson and David Tomashek. As for the Carolina Hurricanes, here's what we're expecting from them tonight. Sebastian Aho with Andrei Svechnikov and Seth Jarvis. Logan Stankoven between Nikolai Ehlers and Jackson Blake. Jordan Stahl centering William Carrier and Jordan Martinook. And then Kasperi Kotkaniemi with Taylor Hall and Eric Robinson. How about Hall on the fourth line?
I mean, but that's kind of what I was just talking about, the Mangiapane. Like, Taylor Hall is not the Taylor Hall from years past, right? Mm-hmm. But did he score yesterday? I think he did.
It's verified.
So, I mean, it's catered for a guy that, a former Hart Trophy winner. Mm-hmm. Get those favorable matchups, maybe against the, not as good of players. It's a deep team. I mean, when you have Taylor Hall on your fourth line, this is a very deep group. That's what I went back to watching the game yesterday. I couldn't tell what line was on the ice because they all look so similar.
Taylor Hall, 9 points through 17 games, 4 goals, 5 assists. On defense for the Canes tonight, Shane Gostisbehere with Sean Walker, Keandre Miller with Joel Nystrom, Alexander Nikishin with Mike Riley, and then out for the Canes, Mark Jankowski and Gavin Bayreuther. Your starting goalies for tonight, 27-year-old Stu Skinner getting the nod. He is 6-4-3 this season. He has a .275 goals against average, an .889 save percentage, 1 shutout in 13 games this year. His lifetime record versus the Canes, 1-1-1, 234 goals against average, 904 save percentage versus Carolina. So you're saying those are good numbers?
I guess.
Yeah. As for the Canes, 36-year-old Frederick Anderson expected to make the start. He is 5-4 this season, a 3.0 GAA, 892 save percentage in 9 games. He's been nicked up here and there. They have Pyotr Kochetkov. They have Brandon Bussey that's also on the team. They have 3 goalies that they're carrying right now. Anderson versus the Oilers, Joaquin, absolute domination. A modest 18-3-2 record with a .227 goals against average, 925 save percentage in 24 games versus the Oil. A lot of those came in his time as the Ducks absolutely murdered the Oilers all those years.
Yep.
And he was a huge part of that before John Gibson came in. I remember Jonas Hiller was a part of that too.
Right. Yeah.
Those are fun trips to Anaheim. Just the game wasn't as fun.
No, I've always liked Freddie Anderson. But he's one of those guys, one of the goalies that I'm always, when I watch him, if I'm watching him consistently, he's always leaving me wanting more. Right. And then he gets banged up and then he's out for a while. I mean, he's not a young guy either now.
No, 36.
At 36, right? And I guess because they brought up, you mentioned their third goalie there.
Brandon Bussey.
Yeah. The reason was, I guess, in the game, he got bowled over.
Yep.
And I think sold it a little bit. The spotter called him down and said he was concussed, but I don't think it was. So goalies nowadays, we gotta watch ourselves when we're trying to win Oscars with getting bowled over here.
Well,
you don't want the spotter to pull you out and your partner to have to go in.
I'm going to say this with all due respect. He is one of the more delicate goaltenders in the National Hockey League. All right, that brings us to the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report. Connor McDavid's got a team of specialists. You have a bag of frozen peas. Get the same locker room approach trusted by the best in the game at Advantage Sport Medicine. Book your assessment today, www.advantagesportmed.ca, or call 780-460-9977. We could take Zach Hyman off of the Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy Injury Report. He is activated and playing tonight. And then we're going to see Kasperi Kapanen remain on LTIR with the knee issue. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, IR, upper body head, I was told. So I'm just passing that along. I got chastised by a few people. Why are you revealing it?
Oh, you're the new Shaggy. Then Shaggy get mad.
But people want to know. That's the crazy thing. You damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. Anyway, so that is the situation when it comes to injuries for the Oil. As for the Hurricane, Jacob Slavin, lower body. He has missed 16 games now, I believe. And then Jalen Chatfield, IR, upper body. That is your Advantage Sport Medicine and Physiotherapy injury report. Okay, Joaquin, we're going to get to Hannah Yates in a few minutes, but before we do, let's go into Game Changers, as we're calling it today, Gage Changers, brought to you by Damon Bunting Real Estate. Damon Bunting, consistent top-producing realtor in the greater Edmonton area for over 18 years. He and his team would love to help you find that right home or make the move from your current home. Check him out, damonbunting.com, or visit his Instagram at Damon Bunting Real Estate. Number one. Hi, man.
Hi, man. He's back in the lineup. This is, I think a lot of people have been counting down the days. I think it was originally planned for November 1st.
Correct.
Like Nabla, he's 2 weeks off with these things. But no, I think this is a good thing, right? Yeah. You're injecting one of the core pieces back into that group. A little bit more life from what you've seen kind of behind the scenes a little bit during games in the dressing room. He's quite vocal, right? So he's one of those motivational guys that I think can help. So and maybe he can ignite some of these other players and seeing the proper way to play, like I had mentioned before.
Nice. All right, let's go to number two. No behaving without Slavin. I like what you're doing here.
So I don't know if anyone's seen Slavin play, but he's unbelievable. Going up against Connor McDavid, even in the Four Nations, we saw what this guy was able to do, just shutting down the other team's top players. Probably the best defenseman in the league today. You got to take advantage of that. You got to, when the star players of the other team are not playing, there's usually someone else that has to eat up those minutes. This is where you want to establish that forward check, wear down that D. Second game in 2 nights, a perfect time to, by the third period, hopefully you've worn them down enough where the mistakes start happening and you can gain some offense maybe late in the third.
All right, that was point number two, and we go to our final point of Gage Changers tonight. Bunting, Damon Bunting.
Well, what does Damon Bunting do?
He sells homes, baby.
Yeah, and if you ask Damon Bunting, it's all about location. And the one location, the prime real estate that the Oilers haven't been dominant in, is in front of their net and in front of the opposition's net. Maybe it's Hyman that goes into those greasy areas now, but I want to see the Edmonton Oilers tonight dominate the prime real estate in front of both nets and not allow those tap-ins on the defensive side. Be aggressive. Go for second chance opportunities because, Freddie Anderson, you mentioned his stats against the Oilers. It's probably going to take a second or third opportunity to get the puck past him.
That's true. I really like what you did there. Very well done. That's what you get.
Thank you. Thank you, Tom.
Well done. Benny, before we do a quick update.
Thanks, ChatGPT.
Yeah. Oh, God. Oh, you totally go and ruin it like that. Any thoughts on Gage Changers tonight, really quickly?
I thought they were great. I like what you did with the Damon Bunting real estate in front of your own net, in front of the other team's net. I think those have been the two biggest flaws to the Oilers game, I would say, this year. Their lack of scoring, I think, comes from not having a good net front presence, and then a lot of their goals are given up are in front of the net as well. So, yeah, I thought it was a great point. There was, in that Columbus game alone, on what was that, Thursday?
Thursday, yep.
Just a lack of defensive awareness and covering the home plate in front of the net, I think was what ultimately cost that team on Thursday. So, yeah, it was disappointing to see, and let's see if those two areas improve tonight against Carolina.
Oilers looking to bounce back from a 5-4 loss against the Columbus Blue Jackets. Really quickly from Walt Ruff before we go to Chris Knobloch and then Hannah Yates, ringside reporter for the Canes. Walt Ruff saying that Freddie Anderson confirmed starter. Jesperi Kotkaniemi lower body out, considered not a long-term injury. And then Seth Jarvis, guys, upper body injury is a game-time decision. So if we get anything else there, we'll pass it along. Let's go to Chris Knobloch, and then we'll touch base with Hannah Yates and Zach Hyman.
Back in the lineup based on morning skate today. Just a thought on, how he, where you think he's at and how he can be, potentially impact the team here.
Well, physically, he's ready to go. He's been skating for quite a while. He feels energized, rested, and, having Zach back will be a huge addition to our team. And now how he handles the puck, and, he's been doing it for a while. He feels comfortable with it, but obviously missing training camp and the game so far. It'll take a little bit of an adjustment period, just getting used to the speed and making those plays and under pressure. But we're very fortunate to have him back right now, and it'll be a boost for the team.
You have Hyman back, but you have a couple other guys in your top six that maybe people didn't think would be there at the start of the year. One is Jack Roslovic, who finished up last year with Carolina, and the other is Matt Savoy, who appears to be emerging here. Just a thought on those two wingers and what they've given you here of late.
Yeah, well, Jack has obviously scored a lot of key goals for us, on the power play and definitely on the overtime. But there's a guy that we weren't anticipating. Things didn't work out for him in the summer and finding a place, and we were fortunate to be able to sign him. And he's been a great fit for our top six. As for Sabby, maybe not initially. We had plans for him to be in the top six, but we knew he'd eventually have an opportunity to get there at some point in the season. Whether that was game 10, 20, or 40, we knew he'd work himself in there. And, I think a lot of his success is coming off of how well he's skating. Not only can he make plays and under pressure and continue the puck, and he was rewarded with a goal the other night, but, we really appreciate his tenacity, working after pucks, and being able to make that next play.
How important is the 5-on-5 game tonight, Chris? Of course, we know Carolina gets a bulk of their offense at 5-on-5, and how they play defense, the importance of being able to generate offense tonight.
Yeah, if you're not ready for their pressure, you're in trouble. They have a 5-man unit out there on the ice that pressure as well as anybody. They're very aggressive, and if you're relaxed, if you're not ready for it, they're going to create a lot of turnovers, and that's where they capitalize on their opportunities. So, we have to be ready for D coming down the wall and pinching us, and the forwards being all over top there, our defensemen. It's important that we're moving the puck quickly.
Not sure if you know this stat, but Carolina is 17-2-4 in the second half of back-to-backs on home ice since 2022. But what do you think allows them to find so much success in the back half of back-to-back games?
Well, I think they play a certain style, no matter if it's a back-to-back or whoever their opponent is. It's very it's simple. It's just you can replicate it a lot often. So, but I also think a lot of credit is they use their entire bench a lot. They're not reliant on just their top line or a certain system. It's they use everybody, so it's not that their guys are tired. They work extremely hard, and that's definitely a part of their identity. But, that's pretty impressive to be that good on their back-to-back game.
Now, when it comes to Zach Hyman specifically, how nice is it to see him back in his usual spot, net front, power play, just with how effective he is in front of that net?
Hopefully he can find his old touch and put pucks in the net like we were so accustomed to him doing. But it's just, whether he's on the right wing playing with McDavid, his usual spot, or net front, it's nice to have 18 out there again with the team.
Pleased to be joined by Hannah Yates from the FanDuel Sports Network, covering the Carolina Hurricanes. Hannah, welcome back to the show. First of all, last time we did this, I think it was at Rogers Place, so we're on location. You're back in Carolina. Canes played last night. Oilers licking their wounds after a tough loss. Get us up to speed on the Canes. 12-5 this year. They beat the Canucks last night. What do we need to know?
Well, thanks for having me. First of all, this Carolina Hurricanes team has been good, but they have faced a lot of injury adversity all season long. It continues here tonight. They'll be without Jesperi Kotkaniemi, who suffered an injury during the game yesterday. Seth Jarvis also suffered an injury during the game yesterday, left during the first period, but apparently we are told by Rob Brind'Amour that he is anticipating him to take warm-ups here tonight and could be good to go. Jesper Kotkaniemi will not be in the lineup here tonight, but this group overall, despite all these injuries, ton of injuries to the blue line. Obviously, this group has been without Jacob Slavin, Canes defenseman, all season long, and that's a huge blow, but they've persevered, they found ways to win, and the depth has been the big storyline for this group this season.
How about like the big signing in the offseason, Nikolai Ehlers? How is he amalgamated with this Canes team? You would think silky smooth, skill, all that is like prototypical Carolina Hurricanes. Has he just slid right in and fit like a glove?
I would say from the start, he was big getting his chances all season long. Obviously, the points were not coming at the start of the season, but there was no concern with this team. They knew that eventually he would start to cash in based on how all of his opportunities had looked. And then most recently, he's been on a line with Logan Stankoven and Jackson Blake, and there's a ton of speed there. Obviously, Nikolai Ehlers plays his best game when he has that space on the ice to utilize his speed and shot, and playing alongside those two young players has been a gift to him. He's riding a 6-game point streak at this point in time. He's looked good. He's cashing in consistently, and he feels like he's gotten to his game.
Hannah, how about Stankoven? That was a huge trade last year. Rantanen goes to Dallas. I know it was a big deal for the Canes to get Rantanen. Weird situation. He's only there for a cup of tea, essentially, and then they go and they get a big package, and Stankoven's kind of the headliner as part of it. Like, how would you describe the way he has kind of felt his way around this organization?
Yeah, Logan Stankoven, obviously, just speaking with people from Dallas as well, he's kind of just born to be a Carolina Hurricane with his style of play. They all refer to him as little bulldog out there. He got in his first NHL fight this past week. He stands at a whopping 5'8", but he has the heart of a lion out there. He's constantly pushing. Obviously, to go from that type of situation and then be put into a top 6 center role with this organization this year was a big thing, and it really displays Rob Brind'Amour's belief in him and his ability. Obviously, taking faceoffs and draws, that's kind of been the point that he's looking to improve on, and it will take time, but overall, he's done really well in the center position, utilizing his speed. He's been a big addition for this organization, and he just has that heart like I talked about. You can see the display of passion on the ice that he brings every single night.
Hannah Yates joining us now from the FanDuel Sports Network, covering the Carolina Hurricanes as we get you set for the first of 2 meetings between these two clubs. The Oilers continuing a 7-game Eastern Conference road trip. You touched on the depth scoring that's really helped boost this Canes team in the first 5-6 weeks of the season. That's something that Oilers fans would love to see from their team. Who have been the main contributors that have really chipped in to make this thing work so far for the Canes?
It's been everyone. To be honest with you, there's been a different hero every single night. I would say starting from the top, it's been consistent play from Sebastian Aho and Seth Jarvis, which you obviously need with situations and facing adversity like this, and the teams really relied on those two, but it trickles all the way down to defense. You have Sean Walker, who's contributed not only as a depth defenseman, but contributing offensively. Shane Gostisbehere being back is huge. Keandre Miller. Obviously, Carolina is built to where their blue line has to contribute offensively on a nightly basis in order for them to be successful. But even all 4 lines, Carolina's 4th line is unique in that it has to be a scoring line in order for them to be successful. And you have Taylor Hall there right now, who obviously has been an MVP in the past, so he's stepped up. It's been a myriad of players throughout the season.
All right, let's look at the goaltending, because we know Frederik Andersen has absolutely destroyed the Oilers over the course of his career, but he's kind of in and out of the lineup. He's always nicked up, or he needs a break, or this or that. We saw Kochetkov get sent down recently for a brief stint. You got 3 goalies on the roster right now. Just what is the situation in goal? Who are we going to see tonight? Do we even know at this point?
Rob Brind'Amour did allude to earlier today that Freddie Andersen would get the nod in the starters crease here tonight. So we're anticipating to see Freddie. Luckily, he has been healthy thus far in the season. And so it is something unique with the Carolina Hurricanes. All 4 seasons that I've been covering this team, there has been a 3-goalie rotation due to injuries, as you alluded to. Brandon Bussi, obviously not being a big name in the NHL, making his debut against the Sharks earlier on in Carolina's first road trip of the season. And he's stuck with this team, and they know that he could get picked up if he would be placed on waivers at some point. They obviously really enjoy having him in the system here. And Canes goalie coach Paul Schoenfelder has scouted him and looked at him for a number of years prior to him coming, believing that he would be a fit in Carolina, and he's fit in really well, helped out. Pyotr Kochetkov is back now, which is a good thing. So for the time being, it is a 3-goalie rotation. It kind of just depends on a nightly basis. The primary focus, of course, being Freddie Andersen and Pyotr good, or Kochetkov in a rotation, with Freddie carrying the majority of workload to this point. But it's kind of a nightly basis at this point in net.
Almost fittingly, former Oilers netminder and my co-host Joaquin Gage walked into the shot as we were talking about goaltending for the Canes. Okay, the Oilers through almost a quarter of the season really don't have much of an identity. Kind of laissez-faire, blasé type of games from them thus far. What is the Canes' identity? What are we going to see from them? You talked about the depth. We know that Anderson he's starting tonight, like you said. He's killed the Oilers over the course of his career, but the type of game this team plays that we're going to witness that the Oilers go up against tonight.
I think it's a great point by you. It's been an interesting season when it comes to the identity of this team, because obviously you have the heart of the team pushing through adversity, the depth scoring. That has been the storyline and the identity. This group obviously thrives on the forecheck. It's the bread and butter under Rod Brind'Amour for all of the years that he's been here. They're going to play a hard forechecking style of hockey. That is the game plan. But we've also seen a strong rush game from this group. Transition game, goals off the rush much more consistently than we have in the past. And it's kind of the dynamic of the lines that we've seen constructed due to all of the injuries, to where they might look a little different, especially with some young players getting opportunities in the line. And so obviously I would assume that they would rely on the forecheck, but you might see some transition game plan as well.
All right, I look forward to seeing what happens on the ice in Carolina. Oilers kind of vulnerable right now, and we'll see, Hannah, how things go. And in the meantime, the Oilers are also getting back Zach Hyman. We're going to go to him right after we say bye to Hannah. Always appreciate the time. We look forward to seeing you here in March.
Thanks so much for having me, Tom. Best of luck.
And preparing for a morning skate like you used to.
That's great. Exciting. Long time, so it's good to be back.
How would you describe the overall process of healing, and how hard was it not to be able to be out there with your teammates?
Long. It was long. It was a long process. It was hard, but I had great help. The staff here has been incredible, and very fortunate to be with the Oilers. Because you just get the best treatment, recovery, advice, so it's been good.
What did Zach Hyman learn about himself throughout the process?
I mean, you just got to be patient and have a positive outlook. I mean, this is the second time I've kind of gone through something similar like this. First was with the ACL, so fortunately I've had experience with a long layover. And yeah, this was harder. Obviously, I had to watch the Stanley Cup Finals, and the surgery was harder, but a similar process.
What's your assessment of the club so far throughout the season?
I mean, I think a lot of room for improvement. I think that's the consensus amongst the guys, the group. We have a great group. First and foremost, great group. There you go, there's Stu. Great group of guys, great mix of guys, veterans and younger guys. But I think that we can take a step, and I think it's time for us to start playing the way that we know we can.
What areas of the game do you feel like this group can take a major step in right now?
I think protecting the slot. I think our goalies have had to face too many high danger chances, and then making it harder on their D and their goalies, getting into that, going to those greasy areas. So I'm excited to be able to bring some of that.
How about 5-on-5? What do you guys need to really be on your game about, especially against the Carolina Hurricane squad that is top 3 in 5-on-5 scoring? They get a lot of their offense from 5-on-5. What do you really need to hone in on today at 5-on-5?
I think we just need to compete. This team will force you to compete, and compete at a high level. That's what they're known for. It's pretty man-on-man the entire game, so you're going up against the other guy, and you got to outwork him. And yeah, looking forward to the challenge for us.
How different is it to play against a man-on-man defense as opposed to Gazzola?
Quite different. Yeah. I mean, there's hybrids and whatnot, but they're probably the ultimate example of the man-on-man.
All right, there's Zach Hyman making his return to the lineup. He's missed the 19 games the Oilers have played so far this season, missed the Stanley Cup Final, too. He reiterated that, talked about the difficult surgery, the complications, and the wrist dislocation that he suffered when he got hit by Mason Marchment. So we'll see him tonight. Big thank you to Hannah Yates, ringside reporter for FanDuel Carolina, or FanDuel Sports Network Carolina, and she said depth with this Carolina team is a big component of it, and that they've chipped in quite a bit. Joaquin. All right. we got a quick update from Walt Ruff in regard to the Hurricane. Seth Jarvis, upper body injury, taking line rushes for the Canes. Bradley Nadeau is the extra skater. Mark Jankowski is back in for the first time in a little while. So Aho, Svechnikov, Jarvis, Stankoven between Ehlers and Blake, Stahl between Carrier and Martinook, Jankowski with Hall and Robinson on defense, Gostisbehere with Walker, Miller with Nystrom, Nikishin with Riley, and then Frederick Anderson starts in goal. Joaquin, we'll do the game day odds check. Did you want to add anything before we go into the game day odds check?
No, I liked what Hyman said. He's been saying the same thing that is just maybe validating what I've been saying all the time. He sees the same things from watching all these last 19 games where they have to compete more.
Brilliant minds think alike.
I guess so.
That's it. That's
maybe I
all
should start making child's books.
You're a great writer. You just need to know how to spell your words.
Yeah, oh, that's what ChatGPT is for, Tommy.
Oh, boy. Let's go to the game day odds check brought to you by Play Alberta. When you play in Alberta, it stays in Alberta, safe and secure. The revenue generated from Play Alberta is redirected into Alberta's General Revenue Fund, which is used to support programs and services that Albertans rely on every day. EST Casino in the promo code, that gets you a $50 deposit with the promo code. You'll earn a $50 casino bonus if you put in ESD Sports. With a $50 deposit, you get a $50 free bet. Your money line for tonight, Carolina minus 125, Edmonton plus 105. The over-under set at 6.5. Over at minus 105. The under at minus 127. Boys, what do you guys think? Over or under 6.5 goals tonight? Gage, you first, then Benny.
I'm going to say it's under.
Under.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to 6.5. That's a lot. I think the Oilers, although I'm not too optimistic that they'll win this game, I think you'll see a better overall effort on both sides of the puck.
All right, so under, better overall effort on both sides of the puck. Benny Thomson, what do you think?
I would want to go over. It's just the Oilers offense. The Oilers offense has improved, I feel like, over the past couple of games, but they are playing a guy that has historically owned them, and Freddie Anderson tonight. So, honestly, I expect Freddie Anderson's success in goal to continue against the Oilers tonight. So, I'm with Gager. I think it's going to be under tonight.
He has a modest 18-3-2 record versus the Oilers over the course of his career. So, yeah, I understand where that comes from. Jocelyn texting in, noted Canes fan, says, Hannah is the best. Yeah, she's great. Really appreciate her time. Chris G texts in and says, can I please get a conch for being in Winnipeg for the Grey Cup, being the last place I've been to for my travels for Grey Cups? Chris, we do not do conches. No. It is in the vault after 7 a.m. on the Nielsen show. And then this one says, Tommy, you're the best, and so are all lumberjacks. Yes, the urban lumberjack. And then this one says, Gager's leather jacket looks like it's from the 80s. Does he have a black Pontiac Trans Am named Kit parked at a BP's? That's from Sean.
Kid, I'll meet you around the corner.
Yeah, there you go. We're going to bring on the birthday boy here.
Oh, I don't think I
Yeah, put it on. There you go. Really quickly, we're going to bring the birthday boy on here. It's Reno's 70th birthday tomorrow. If you don't know, it's my dad, Reno Gazzola. He's got his jersey on. He's expecting a win in a tough city for the Oilers.
Well, they better win tonight. Hey, Eskimos won a Grey Cup on my birthday in 2003.
That was not long ago at all.
And Saskatchewan will win one tomorrow for me.
Oh, gross. Get out of it.
And the Oilers will win the game tonight for me, right?
Oh, I hope so. Did you get anything else good, or are you just waiting on an Oilers win?
Well, I'd like an Oilers win first, and then we'll go from there.
Okay, all right.
Look at that. Very nice, Reno. How does it? Well, you're not 70 until tomorrow.
That's right. So I'm living out my 60s right now.
Yeah, go.
I better do something wild if I remember the 60s, barely.
Oh my goodness. All right. So you gave your prediction. We're gonna have a lot of fun here tonight at BP's. 170th and 90th Avenue. We have a lot of giveaways. There's a grand prize of a Tyreek Hill Dolphins jersey with a Dolphins toque, bunch of $25 GCs. We're going to make sure Reno has a great last day of his 60s as he turns 70 tomorrow. Right. A lot of fun. The whole Gazzola clan's here, except Mom's in Europe. So.
And they tricked me. I did not know that you would invite my brothers and all this.
This is what we do.
Oh, well, this is great.
And I brought
Nice to-
Joaquin for you, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
well, hey,
I'm
great.
not supposed to be here.
Oh, is that right?
You heard it was your
It
birthday.
must be a special occasion.
Exactly.
There you go.
Exactly.
Well, thanks for doing that. And okay, guys, well, let's go watch some hockey.
All right, there you go. There's
Sounds
my
like a
dad.
plan.
Happy birthday, Reno. We're going to have some fun tonight. Big thank you to Tony and Curtis and the entire staff here at Boston Pizza. If you want to come on down, a bunch of the nasties are already here. Gage and I will be hanging out. I think Benny's coming down, and then some more of the EST crew. Big thank you to Hannah Yates for stopping by and joining us, giving us the scoop on the Canes. Gage, your final thoughts from you?
No, I think lines up to be. I just want a good game done.
Me too. I want satisfaction for the fan base.
I don't expect the Oilers to dominate this game by any stretch of the imagination, but I'd like to see them tilt the ice a few times throughout this game, right?
That's reasonable.
And be able to weather the what is it, the surge when it
the storm
does
surge,
when it
yes.
does go the Oilers' way.
Nullify the storm surge tonight.
Exactly.
Benny, really quickly, what you got?
Yeah, this is. Let's see. Short words. Let's see the Oilers win tonight. That's it. Let's just see them win, please.
Get it done.
Get
Yeah.
it done.
All right, that's going to do it for the GCL Diesel Oil Stream pregame show. Again, again to Hannah Yates, thank you for stopping by. Big thank you to everybody who's coming down tonight, who is already here. We appreciate you being here. For Joaquin, for Betty Thomson, I'm Tom Gazzola saying enjoy the game, and we'll catch you on the postgame show.